doing, everybody? Throwing up a pickups video here today, actually. I got a game from Best Buy, and I picked up 2 from Goodwill earlier. I'm going to throw some quick little thoughts here on extra thoughts on Dead Space 3. I beat it the other day. Finished it. It actually got more annoying, as I kind of thought it would. I'd probably give that game about a 7, which isn't terrible. It isn't a terrible game, but compared to the other 2, it kind of sucks. Like I said, it just tries to do too much, and I don't know. The story's kind of all over the place. And at the end boss, I was like a little shitting my pants a little bit. I was like, oh crap, I didn't have many health left. And the end boss was coming, and I was like, oh fuck, this is gonna be a pain in the ass. And the end boss was a fucking pushover. It was a pushover. It's like this giant alien thing, and it's throwing, it's one of those games where like you're fighting like some big kind of bosses, and like other enemies are coming at you at the same time. It's one of those kind of games. And other enemies were coming at me, but you have to like pick up with kinesis and chuck giant markers. The markers in the game, are the big thing, the markers that cause the problems. And you gotta fucking whip them. You gotta kinesis them into the thing's eyes. And you gotta take out the enemies that come at you, because it like launches these things and they burst and then enemies come out. But yeah, it was a fucking kind of a pushover. Then you gotta like pull the fucking dude. The other guy goes into this thing and it sucks it into his mouth. You gotta pull it out and then it's like over. I was like, alright. But, overall, I guess, well, it's not a terrible game, but I don't know. Like, production values are still there. It looks great. It sounds great. Isaac didn't talk in the first one. He started talking in the second one, and he's crying his cornflakes in this one because, his ex-girlfriend's back, You gotta go save her. The guys come and get you, and, he's like, oh, Ellie's there. I'll come and help then. And then, she's, like, dating the other guy now and shit, and then fucking, you gotta pull a bullet in his head. Sorry, those are spoilers and shit. Because that guy starts being a dick because you're still into her. And she's kind of into him and fucking... But then that guy sells you out to the unitologists, and then he's about to fucking kill you, and you fucking put a bullet in his head, and the other guy, Carver's like, you had to do it. The guy's a dick. He betrayed us and all this shit, and fucking... And then she's pissed for like 5 seconds and then gets over it. But he's whining about, he's fucking crying his cornflakes and shit. Then he gets over it. Then he like decides what he has to do and shit. And then after the credits, you hear, she's like, oh, sad. She gets away. You think she dies at one point, but of course you kind of know she didn't. It's kind of good. The head unitologist guy, I can't remember his name, Malik or something like that. His last name is Dalek or something. Is actually voiced by the dude who voices Kane in the Legacy of Kane games. I was like, oh shit, that voice sounded familiar, and then I saw the name come up, Simon Templeman or something. I think Simon Templeman, I think his name is. I was like, ah shit, nice. So I knew that voice sounded familiar. Dyak, maybe that was his name, Dyak. His last name was. Maybe I'm thinking, no. Maybe I'm thinking Dennis Dyack, the guy behind Silicon Knights. But, I was like, that's kind of cool. But yeah, she ends up leaving, and then she's crying. Oh no, did you make it? She's trying to get in contact with him, and she's like, oh, I guess if you died, you did it. Everybody's saved, and then the credits roll, and then you hear at the end of the credits, he's like, Ellie. And then it ends. But like I said, it's an enemy fest. Enemies. There's one point where like his unitologists are coming. And then there's the necromorphs are coming, and then they're both attacking you, and then like they're fucking trying to shoot you and shit, and then they're throwing grenades, and then necromorphs. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I don't know, man. I don't know. Something about that game just really got under my skin. But anyway, back to the pickups. First 2, I'll do the first 2 from Goodwill first. The first one, the first one's a PC game. I just grabbed it. I never heard of it. It's Heart of Darkness. This is the reference card that was in it. Gives you information about it and shit. Yeah, it's got its manual. I looked it up online. I guess it's supposed to have 3D glasses. It does not have them. Same guys who did Out of This World. But yeah, I may throw it in the computer and see if it works. It has a little bit of value. I looked it up on eBay. 176 locations and over 30 minutes of seamless film action. This also was on the PlayStation. I thought it was a PlayStation game at first, just by like this on the side, but I couldn't find PlayStation anywhere in there. And I was like, oh, it's got to be a PC game then. But yeah, I'll see if it works on my computer. I doubt I'd be able to play it because my computer's a piece of shit that freezes like every 15 minutes or restarts itself. It's like it's coming on 8 years old now, so I need a new one. Eventually, I'll probably get a new one at the end of the summer. But I'll just see if it works. Like I said, it came with 3D glasses. I don't have them. I don't know if that's necessary to playing it. Operating system, Windows 95, DOS 6.22, etc. Second game is PlayStation 2 game, Simpsons Road Rage. It's a little grimy on the cover. I'm going to have to clean that up. There's a little rip here in the plastic on the case. It's got its manual. The disc is kind of roughed up. It's funny, they have games in the glass case up front, and then they actually had a bunch of games like in the regular shelf. Some cube games as well. Some of them weren't in the cases, of course. I don't know why they don't take anything they're going to put on shelves and like put it in like a, you know, like one of those cases you put your CDs in or whatever, and put that like underneath up front by the registers. Because people steal that shit. They had like Pac-Man World 2, and I was like, oh, maybe that has some value or something. It wasn't in the case for the GameCube. They said they had some GameCube games, and then a bunch of PlayStation 2 games. This was one of them. I remember loving this game. I had this on the GameCube when it came out. It's pretty much, it's just Crazy Taxi with Simpsons characters. It was kind of cool, but it had a decent amount of glitches. I remember when I was playing on the Cube, I was driving around, just like the car just like went into the like halfway into the bridge. I was crossing a bridge, and it just stuck. Stuck there. But it was pretty cool. It's got all the people who do the voices of the characters in there, which is cool. You use the Simpsons family. I think you can use Apu as well, maybe one other character. It might just be the family and him. I think you use him. That might be Hit and Run though, that you use him. I'm not sure. But yeah, if they have a couple other ones, I may grab them next week. I just cashed in like $6-7 worth of change, so I just grabbed those two things. That's what I may do. I may just, because I gather up like $5-6 worth of change a week through, you know, when I use it, you know, use my money and stuff. So I may just do that and get a game or two. It's funny, this game is $3, and the stuff that's in the shelf, they have some PS2 games like in the glass case. Those are $5. I don't know, maybe like these cases are a little lined up or something, or maybe the discs are not in, because the frequency disc is in good shape. Maybe they actually take that into account and they charge more for those, I don't know. Or maybe they're just in better shape overall and they count them as more money. I have no idea. Or there just wasn't room for them and they threw them out there and charged $3. I don't know. Because there's more games out there. There was 2 Lord of the Rings games, The Third Age, Return of the King, Everything or Nothing, the Bond game, a couple sport games. There's a couple cube games out there as well. Spider-Man, Hunter the Reckoning. I remember that game. I had it for the Xbox, and it was like it glitched like 3 times. And my Xbox started making weird noises, and I never played it again. I was like, I do not want this game ruining my system. But yeah, this is a cool one. Good one to have. So it's a add-on to the collection. Like I said, it's $3. There you go. Boom. Nice cheap game, you know. And if they have another one of them, I may grab Return of the King or the Third Age, although I may not, because I put so much gameplay into that on the GameCube and the Xbox. I don't really know if I want to punch another like 30 hours into that again. And the other one I got from Best Buy, I had gotten do like that e-rewards thing, and got a Best Buy $10 certificate, so I picked up Mirror's Edge with it. It was $8 used. It came today. Has the case and manual, which is always cool. This is a cool game. I played this on PS3. It's a first-person parkour type game. The combat, and it's not the combat, like you don't do too much combat. you're pretty much just running away from the enemies and just, you know, booking and jumping on stuff, sliding under shit, you know, grabbing stuff, climbing up and stuff. But you occasionally get guns, and the gun combat kind of sucks. At the end of the game, you run into a position where you can avoid it, but it's very hard to. If I end up playing this again, I don't know if I'm going to try to just sell it. I'll probably play it before I do again, because I played it on PlayStation. Maybe I'll just... it's been years since I played it. I played it in, I think, '09. So, I may try to just play through it again. I'll try to get through that at the end part without guns. This gun combat's not that good. I'll try to avoid it, because you can avoid using guns in this game. But that just was a pain in the ass to do. There was a decent amount of enemies, but I'll try harder this time to do it. But overall, this is actually a really cool game. It's unique. It looks cool. It's like all like white, but there's like, you know, the colors stick out, like the red and the orange and like yellow and stuff. Gives you like ways to see what you're supposed to climb up and shit. It's a cool game. That's the main character there. Faith, I believe her name is. She's like a courier. She's like delivers packages, like some, like, you know, Big Brother type entity is like overlooking the city. They're like dicks, and so she like delivers, I guess, like letters and stuff to people and shit or something like that, packages and shit like that. Yeah, it says right on the back, Faith. Yeah, information is monitored and runners communicate freely. Yeah. But you're like right on the run from the beginning. It's cool, it's definitely really cool, and I'm shocked they never even went about making a new one. I can't even remember the ending of this, actually. But, it sold alright, I think. Maybe not good enough. I don't know. But yeah, those are the 3 pickups. First pickup video in a while. What are you doing, dude? Cat like busts in because the door's closed and he wants to leave. He has to know what's going on because the door's closed. But yeah, those are some pickups. Figure 3 was good enough to throw up a quick video. Probably ended up being about 10 minutes because I had to bitch a little bit more about Dead Space 3. Don't get me wrong, Dead Space 3 isn't complete garbage by any means, but compared to the other 2, it kind of is, at least in my opinion. But yeah, those are the pickups, and hopefully I'll be seeing more pickup videos when the G sales come around. Hopefully they start to pop up this weekend. It's supposed to be in the 70s this weekend, so hopefully there's some action. But yeah, thanks everybody for checking it out, and have a good day.